was only supposed to stay for a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
And, I just simply told him, I said, if you want to come to this area, I had to brush him off on other people's houses. He slept at one of my friend's house. He slept out in Watertown. He slept here and there. I didn't want him here every night. I mean, it's crazy. But he stuck around this area for 2 months. And he just never would go away. He wanted to get put on my lease. I'm not going to have him on my lease. But see, what are you going to do? I told him, I said, man, I'm not going to pay for you to have another bus ticket to get out of here. I paid for you to come here. If it wasn't for my wife, he would have been thrown out a long time ago because I would have just had him put into a homeless shelter or something like that.
Right.
And as far as these rants and raves, this is the man that would carry on and cry and pout. And this is where I can see that he would turn people in. Do as I say, or I'm going to call protective services on you.
Right.
Go ahead, Matthew. People need to call his bluff. Let's do it. Seriously. Honestly, Mark, I'd really love to challenge him in court. Now, hey, talking about that, he went to court. I had him in court out here.
You did.
I had a particular situation, and I'm sure Matthew will run his mouth about it. So we had a particular situation that I had to go to court with. I had these people that own this bar behind us, and they're really being loud and noisy and everything. So when I complained about it, they called a restraining order on me. They thought they were going to file a restraining order on me. So I had to have Matthew come into court, which he perched himself on the stand.
Right.
And I was the attorney in there. I handled everything. I filed all the paperwork to recuse the judge. I did everything. I even used my own money to pay for a meal afterwards, and this guy has the audacity to tell me, well, look at you. Why don't you just pull the table up to the buffet you're eating so much? He's just a little smartass, is what he is. And Mark, you got to understand something. Us preachers are not perfect. Okay, we're far from perfect.
Right.
We are all sinners. Every single one of us are sinners, and the only way through heaven is through Jesus Christ.
That's
Amen.
right.
That is the only way. And people need to understand that we all make mistakes. But I always see these people like Matthew that attack you. Well, he's not a pastor. He's not this. He's not that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times Matthew has told my wife that he was an atheist. So how can you say God bless to somebody if you're an atheist and you don't believe in God? And now, with this attack on his, citizenship here, now what is he saying?
Right.
God bless America.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
So that's pretty much when I met him and he came over and we paid for this ticket and we had him in. I told him, I said, you can't stay for very long. 2 weeks tops
Right.
is all you can stay. So he had to go stay out. Now, there was a lady in Watertown that wanted to put him to work and, have him work under the table and stuff. Matthew didn't want to do that. As soon as she told him that, he got the hell away from her. He didn't want to be around her. He didn't want to work. He wants to fight CPS. He wants to sit on his butt all day, and he wants to be on the phone, and he wants to laugh and giggle. And I used to hear him on the phone with Michael Hunt, and boy, both of them with the F word in the mouth, and they're two childish people. Both of them are.
Who's Mike? What Michael? Who is that? Michael? Who again?
Michael Hunt. He would call up and talk to Matt, and Matt would lie to him, and I'm a documented person here, and all this other stuff, and they all know he's here illegally.
Mm-hmm.
They all know it. So nobody's chasing anybody down for popping around his little passport or whatever. If Matt doesn't like it, then don't break the law.
Right.
It's just as simple as that. Go home.
Right.
We don't want you here.
Right.
American citizens don't want you here. I don't want him here. Do you want him here?
I don't have him. We had him on, but I was it. He's not here with us. No, he's not here.
No, but would you let him come into your house? Would you pay his way and buy him cigarettes?
Hell
and
no.
drinks, and hey, here you go.
Hell no. Hell no. 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 No.
So, and it's time to go home.
Right.
See, we're not talking about some little guy that comes over here from Mexico, skips across the border, gets a job in a cornfield, and supports his family.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps his head down, keeps his mouth shut, keeps a low profile. We're talking about a big mouth Australian that comes up here and thinks he's going to rule the world and tell everybody how they're going to live.
Right.
And that just don't go for it here. You know,
Doesn't work that way.
He's got a big awakening here.
Right. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It does not work that way, you know. And like I said, I apologize for having him on the air. You know, I really do. I apologize. You know, I apologize to you. I apologize to your family. I really do. And I didn't know he was going to do that attack. I did not know. I did not know. But at least we deleted it. And but I do apologize for because you know that's not good at all. What he said, that's not good. That's not right. I'm glad he brought me out on it. I really did. So I'm glad we cleared it up, and hopefully we get this. Hopefully we can go forward here with this investigation here. Hopefully it'll make it a lot easier for you because we don't have that anymore.
Well, I have a couple, you know, things that are in the works right now. It might take a little bit of time, but Matthew, I know he's running scared. I know he is running scared, and it's just a matter of time because, you know, when somebody is after him, and he's a fugitive right now, basically.
Right. He's a fugitive.